This is Jimmy, and Jimmy is tired. See, for the last 3 months, Jimmy has been on the ultimate grind. He's been flipping burgers at McMonkey's, dealing with angry customers and smelling like old grease. All for one reason. He is saving every single banana to finally retire his crusty old laptop and build a real battle station. He wants to play the latest games in 4K, so he finally collects enough bananas. He walks into the tech store, ready to buy the parts. He grabs a graphics card, he grabs a processor, and then he walks over to the RAM section. And his heart stops. He looks at a 32GB kit of RAM, and he thinks it's a mistake, because that little stick of memory, it now costs as much as a high-end graphics card used to. In fact, for some monkeys, adding 16 gigs of RAM now costs more than buying a brand new console. Jimmy does the math. He realizes that if he buys this RAM, he can't afford the rest of the computer. He's been priced out. His dream build is dead in the water. And Jimmy isn't the only one. This is happening to monkeys all over the jungle. RAM prices are rising faster than gold, and you need to know why. Now, you might think this is just bad luck, or maybe just inflation. But let me tell you, this isn't an accident. This is a robbery. The reason Jimmy can't afford his computer is because of the usual suspects. The Silicon Valley Mafia, the corpos. Specifically, the ones obsessed with AI. See, while you're trying to upgrade your PC to play games or edit videos, the big zoos like openai, Microsoft, and the Google are building massive data centers. These aren't normal computers. These are mega computers on steroids. And they are hungry. They need thousands of graphics cards and countless terabytes of memory to run their AI models. openai even admitted their new Stargate project could consume up to 40% of the entire world's memory production, hoarded by a company that admits it won't even be profitable until the year 2030. Here is how the scam works. There are only a few big companies that actually make the memory chips, giants like Samsung and Micronwave. Now, these suppliers love money. I mean, they really love bananas. And when the AI corpos come knocking with multi-year contracts worth billions, the suppliers stop caring about monkeys like Jimmy. They physically shift their factories to produce server memory instead of the stuff that goes into your laptop. This creates a shortage for us. And when supply goes down, prices go up. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine an airline, but instead of selling tickets to everyone, they sell every single seat on every plane for the next 3 years to a handful of rich corporate monkeys. Sure, you can still try to fly, but you're fighting for the 1 or 2 seats left in the back near the toilet. And because they are so rare, the airline charges you business class prices for that terrible economy seat. That is exactly what is happening to computer memory right now. Micron is even full-on exiting parts of the consumer market to focus on their corporate overlords. They are leaving you in the dust because the corpos pay better. And because building new factories takes years, this problem isn't going away anytime soon. But the high prices are just the tip of the iceberg. The corpos know that if parts are too expensive, you might just wait to upgrade. So they came up with a nastier plan. It is called soldered RAM. Back in the day, if your laptop was slow, you could open the back, pop in a new stick of memory for a few bananas, and boom, it was fast again. But now, companies like Pear and even many Windows laptop makers are soldering the memory straight onto the motherboard. This means the configuration you pick on day 1 is the ceiling you live under for the life of the machine. If you buy a laptop with 8 GB of RAM today, you are stuck with 8 GB forever. And as software gets heavier and AI features demand more power, that laptop becomes e-waste in 2 years. This isn't an accident. It is a trap. They want you to throw the whole machine away and buy a new one. This ripples everywhere. It hits the film student waiting overnight for a project to render because they couldn't afford the upgrade. It creates a divide. The corpos and silverbacks get the real computers. The rest of us, we get weak terminals that rely on the cloud. So, is this it? Do we just accept that we will own nothing and be happy? Absolutely not. Monkeys can stand up to this. First, you need to vote with your wallet. Stop buying disposable tech. When a manufacturer ships a machine with soldered RAM that you can't fix, call it out. Do not buy it. Support companies that actually let you fix your stuff. Second, support right-to-repair campaigns. When your local zookeepers announce subsidies for chip manufacturers, make sure those bananas aren't just padding the pockets of the corpos. demand that if they get our tax bananas, they have to build things we can actually use. We might not be able to lower the global price of RAM overnight, but we can stop rewarding the companies that are trying to lock us out of our own technology. Stay sharp, monkeys. Watch your wallets, and please do not sue Monkey.